a song for you, hope it comes easy. I don't wanna write it down. Wanna write a song for you, make it bright and breezy, so that you can carry it around. Take it to the garden, somewhere up a mountain, keep it in your memory. I wanna write a love song so that when you sing along, maybe you will think of me. My love for you, love for you, deep as a river it flows. My love for you, something you will never outgrow. It'll follow, up and down, a round, a red. Follow like a shadow wherever you go. Wanna write a sad song, something you can lean on, something that'll carry you through. Wanna write a sad song, something that'll be there when the world is cruel to you. When you feel your heart hard and take it to the garden, hold who you want to be. I wanna write a love song, keeping you headstrong, only for you from me. My love for you, deep as a river it flows. My love for you, something you will never outgrow. It'll follow, up and down, a round, a red. Follow like a shadow wherever you go. Oh my love for you, deep as a river it flows. My love for you, something you will never, ever outgrow. You follow, up and down, a round, a red. Follow like a shadow wherever you find yourself.
If you don't leave now, you might get snowed in. You know that's alright with me. Don't seem like quitting. You should cancel all your plans. I've got nowhere to be. But your boyfriend might have something to say. You know that I think he's just okay. He don't wear black jeans, he don't say nice things. He can't play a lick on this guitar. He can't grow his beard long. He won't write you love songs. Spends too much dough at the bar. I guess I'll keep singing, hoping you'll see that's your old boy. Come on, help me out, folks. He ain't me. Oh, the snow's coming down. Oh, there's ice on the ground. The wind, it chills to the bone. So I throw a log on and I keep singing this song about that old boy you've outgrown. He won't keep you laughing. He won't take you dancing. Spends too much time that you know he ain't me. Come on! Oh, he's done you a wrong. Yeah, he's stringing you along. I know that he's just a fad. Oh, you won't be alone. Yeah, just pick up that phone. You can tell him I ain't that bad. He ain't me. He ain't me. Hope that you know he ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me. Hope that you know he ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me. Hope that you know he ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me. He ain't me. Hope that you know he ain't me.
I've got at least 100 bites over every part of me. I need a ticket checking all the places I can't see. Sunburn stinging 'cause I didn't pay attention, and the sweat drip dripping. It took 2 hours longer than it should have to get here. The signal dropped out a mile north of town. Cubes in the ice bin have already melted, and my city mind's running and running. But then the sun sets over Gunflint Lake, and the fire smoke's winding down our day. Hear the lone call singing, hey, you're in God's country. Let go and let be. It's been a year for books, and I don't mean in a good way. I really put a hurtin' on my motto, keep it vague. All this hell arising, I just need a clear horizon. So we back up the truck and drive to see the sunset over Gunflint Lake, and the fire smoke winding down our day. Hear the lone call singing, hey, you're in God's country, where we wake up with the birds and there's nothing but quiet, and soaking all the peace that Mother Nature's providing. Eagles on the white pines telling me something like, so read all in all the buried blood. This fickle life won't let me misunderstood. Sweet's only sweet when you taste it, it's sour, and it's all gone by too fast. So watch that sunset over Gunflint Lake. Let that fire smoke grind down the day. Hear lone calls and hey, you're in God's country. Let go and let be. Yeah. Let go and let be.
I'm in the studio today with Maygen and the Birdwatcher, and just the two of you, actually, not the whole band right now, but it's really nice to finally meet you guys and have you in the studio.
Good to be here.
Thank you, yes.
Congratulations on the release of your first 2 records. Yeah. Many more to come, I assume.
That's the idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
We got lots in the hopper.
Yeah.
Maygen and the Birdwatcher are a local band, and you formed back in 2020, just before the pandemic started. Tell me that story about how that began and how you managed to avoid that crisis.
Yeah, well, we didn't avoid it. But Maygen and I had been playing for, 2 years before that?
Yeah, we came out with an EP in 2018.
Just the two of us doing some kind of folk stuff. And then we kind of wanted to reshape things. We were getting kind of bored with that idea. So we're like, let's get a whole band. We knew some players that we wanted to have kind of come up with us, change the sound a little bit. And that was, I think, December was when, right before COVID shut down, was when we started getting things together. But what was great about, not great about COVID, but what was good about that time is then all of a sudden we had all this time to try to format what we wanted to be and write all this music and stuff like that. So, we try to kind of take the best of a bad situation and use stuff there. So it obviously, though, it took a while for us to even rehearse with anybody because no one wanted to be around for a while.
Sure.
So we did a couple outside things and some online things, but we made it work.
It was kind of like a timeout then, really. Yeah. You could take a timeout and plan your whole career that way.
Basically.
Something like that.
Lots of songwriting time to come up with, because the guys that we added came from bluegrass backgrounds, and so it was just like a whole new world of discovering kind of like what we're going to sound like for our record, Moonshine, which is what we were working on. So.
Let's back up a little bit. You guys said you were already playing together before the band started. So how did you meet and how did you start playing together?
Yeah, we were doing some gigs. Maygen was doing backup vocals for a church, and I came in and did some guitar work. And you were in a different band at that point.
I was in a band called Sparrows Rising, and we were doing a benefit gig, which was opening up for Indigo Girls, which was super cool. So we're like, all right, we can't just be a duo for that. Right. So I asked him to join us on guitar, and we played in that band for a little while.
For a little bit, yep. And then we were thinking, Maygen was like, I kind of want to do my own thing. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to get in more writing and stuff like that. And we just branched off from there.
And you had a sound in mind already, kind of a bluegrassy, folky.
Well, then it was more just kind of that folk.
It was pretty just folky.
Yeah.
More singer-songwriter. And then we're like, you know what? We should try to maybe just add a little more grit in here. And that's kind of where we went from there. So. And I wasn't really singing at all, and Maygen wasn't playing any guitar at that point. But when we started kind of, when that connection happened over COVID with the band members, then we started to blend that more. Maygen did more guitar, I did more singing. So,
so Maygen and the Birdwatcher, I know where Maygen comes from. Birdwatcher?
Yeah, well,
it's true.
we had to find something to call ourselves, and we did a couple of things. But I am a bird nerd.
Okay.
I'm a self-described bird nerd. So we're like, I guess that's a good name, good as any name. So yeah.
So the first album came out then in 2021, right? Somewhere before that happened, you came up with the band. How did you meet the rest of the guys in the band?
So Ethan was our kind of first connection.
Upright bass.
Yep, upright bass. He, again, just at a random church thing that I found him. I was playing guitar for somebody, and he had me to be on bass. And we're like, oh, you play stand-up? Are you interested? He's like, yeah, I used to play in bluegrass bands and stuff like that. So we added him, and he said, yeah, my brother also happens to play fiddle and mandolin, Jesse. So we're like, great, Jesse, come on down. And he... They're both lived in Wabasha, but they were happy to make the drive.
Yeah,
and Nick, who's
every week, pretty much.
Yeah, Nick's on banjo, and he's kind of a wild guy. No, he's not really that wild, but
Nick, we saw we were playing some little singer-songwriter gig, and he was a solo guy, and we're like, Moto Nick is so cool.
We thought he was cool, and he was looking for more opportunities to play some more banjo. Yeah. He plays in all sorts of different bands, but yeah, that was how. And then most recently was Peter. But we were looking for someone to record, and someone had suggested Peter's studio, Flower Shop in Minneapolis. So,
well, that first record, when it came out, you were recognized by the Midwest Country Music Association, right? That's a huge honor for your first record, right?
Yes, it was really quite a surprise. We were super excited to be nominated, but then when we actually won for Album of the Year and then Americana Artist of the Year, it was like... it started a big whirlwind of just a great year for us last year, and it was really, really exciting stuff.
Did not expect to win, but it was cool to do.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have an interesting sound. That when I heard you first live once, I thought, Noah, you've got this kind of a gravelly voice thing going on. Maygen, your voice is something far apart. Have you ever heard of continental drift?
Yes.
Tectonics?
Yes.
It's like when, they come together and they sort of meet and form this unique sound. And
That's
you
our
guys,
new quote for our
Interesting.
website.
there you
right
go,
there.
you're a new continent. There you go. But,
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, was that planned? Did you think about that at all?
I mean, not really, because our first EP was all me singing, and I did the harmonies on that EP too. Kind of in that way, and then got him singing more, and he's just kind of grown into his own vibe, and it's just been so fun for both of us to be able to kind of bring whatever our soul is telling us, to the music.
How about the writing of the songs?
Yeah.
These come from both of you, I assume. Yeah. Do you write together, or do you write it by yourself and bring it to the band? And
Yeah. Primarily separately. I'll send some guitar ideas to Maygen for her to do some lyrical stuff over sometimes, but she'll also write her own stuff. A lot of it is separate though. We'll kind of come together towards the end, but we kind of build the house and then separately, and then together we pick out the drapes and the couch and stuff like that. So we do kind of fine tuning together, but yeah, it's mostly our own thing.
Yeah, and then we'll come together and swap out lyrics and different ideas. So I'll bring something to Noah and he'll have suggestions, and then vice versa. So it takes both of us to finish a song, but yeah, the beginning parts are just kind of from
Individual.
ourselves.
so Bootleggin at the Flower Shop is your latest,
Yeah.
right? That came out last summer.
October. Actually,
right,
yeah.
What's next?
Oh my goodness. So
Well-
this year we're going to just really play out a lot with Bootleggin at the Flower Shop. We have a tour, planned around the country because there's so many places we haven't been. So having Moonshine and Bootleggin at the Flower Shop, there's so many places that just need to hear those songs. But we did start writing more this past winter too, because we just can't help ourselves.
Moonshine, we recorded all in 2 days, and Bootleggin, we recorded everything in 1 day. So now we're thinking we should take 10 months and record stuff. And
Yeah,
just
we're literally
really,
gonna just,
space it out.
I think I'm seeing an apartment in
Take our
San
time.
Francisco or something we should live in and hate Asbury.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's
the
going to be
idea.
a whole different process for us this coming record, but we're not even going to worry about it really too much until fall, probably.
How about the sound? Will it stay the same?
No.
No.
I think we both get bored pretty quickly. Not bored in a bad way, but just we're always looking for what is the next thing? How do we keep pushing this? How do we discover new things to do? We both played in a lot of different types of bands and
we love all
configurations.
different kinds of music too. So there's just so much we want to do that hasn't fit on these two records, but we have an idea of where we want to go.
Right. But just to be tied down to bluegrass or Americana or country would not be something that would feel good to us.
Are you going to give us a clue what the next sound will be?
It's
from
not
Maygen?
polka.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I don't
Horn
know.
section.
There's
You'll have to
maybe
wait
one,
and find out.
one or two songs
Maybe
with horns
maybe a
possibly.
horn.
Just we still kind of want to stick with our Instagram says Americana Soul. We're probably going to lean more into the soul side of that.
Okay. I do see a horn section then. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's been a real pleasure to have you guys in the studio. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for coming in.
Thank you. It's been great.
It's Maygen and the Birdwatcher here on Radio Heartland.